Hello, welcome back to my channel. My name is Okoro Ngozuka, aka Asanwanyego. So today I'll be talking about my pregnancy journey. Like that's what this video is going to be about, my own personal pregnancy journey, how it has been. I intended to film this in real time, but well, this is my first pregnancy, so I kind of let things happen to me, so I don't have any real time like videos like trimester by trimester, but I'll do my best to break everything down in this video, or give you a summary of how my pregnancy went. So let's get into it. This is just my personal journey. Maybe this didn't happen to everybody. I'm just telling you how it went for me, because when I found out I was pregnant, I didn't know what to do or how to feel, or what to avoid or what not to avoid, and all things like that. So I started going on, I went online, started searching for info and stuff like that. So I found some really helpful tips and helpful videos, that set my mind at ease. So that's why I'm making this video. I'm making this video because I found help online, so I felt I should share my own story as well, maybe to help one or two people. So I don't carry belly. Yes, I found out I was pregnant in February, early February, around 7th of February to be precise. But before then, before I found out, before I knew for sure that I was pregnant, the first thing I think I noticed was my shoe size changed. I know, that's weird. So this is basically me talking about my first trimester. So in December, I had gotten these flat shoes for work from my shoe club. I have a friend that buys shoes from online. So I had gotten these flat shoes for work, and generally I have a big feet. I wear size 42 before pregnancy. Right now I think it's size 43. But so I got those shoes, and of course I ordered for size 42, and she sent them. And when I tried them on in December, they were too big. So I called her up and I was like, "Oh, IJ, these shoes are too big, but no problem. I would stuff tissue paper into it and wear it, and it will still be fine." So in December, I had stuck tissue paper in it. I tried out different thicknesses of tissue paper to find one that made it fit my feet. So So those were in there. So this is January, late January, let's say around maybe 20th or 22nd, 20 something January, anyway, late January. So I decided to wear my new shoes to work. I can't wear shoe. Sorry if I'm interjecting with pidgin English. I do that. I now wore the shoes, and they were too tight. We have already done all the adjustments. We know that this is how it should fit. I said maybe I'm just hallucinating or something. I wore the shoes like that. By the time I got to our gate, that is the gate of my house, I couldn't bear it again. It was paining me. I removed the shoes, I removed the tissue paper, and put my feet back. Brethren, my leg was touching the tip of the shoe. And it wasn't painful, but as in it now fits me exactly, as if I was dreaming. back in December when I said the shoes didn't fit. So what can the righteous do? I shut my mouth up and want my shoes to work. Anyways, so like I said, this was January, and in January, I'm a Christian. In January, a lot of Christians and different churches usually have fasting programs to begin the year, and I joined this prayer online, NSPPD. So there was a fast going on then, just 6 to 1 p.m. I think that was the fast. And usually I can fast 24 hours. It's not even a problem for me. And this was that fruit fast or water fast, something like that. As in, wasn't even a gang fast like that. People of God, sometimes before 12, my eye is already turning on the road. I cannot be able to breathe. And it now made it that, so usually when I now break the fast by 1, I will say a prayer, then I will now eat fruit. So I noticed that I was, unusually unable to keep up with the fast. And when I now take the fruits, by the time I get home, I'll be throwing up, like I'll be vomiting the food, because for some reason my body wasn't agreeing with the fast. And what kind of devil is this one? This year that I want things to be good for me, they do not want me to fast like a normal human being. And I was, I had prayer points, I had things I wanted to achieve by that fast. So I was bewildered. So by the end of 1 week, I stopped the fast. Or I didn't stop the fast, but I now made mine a water fast. That is, I take water, only water, till at least 1 before I want to have the fruits and food. And I wasn't eating out. Like, I was avoiding certain food. So I had to always go back home to eat. And my work closes by 5. So by the time sometimes I'm getting home, I'm already, there were days I couldn't even see. I was so tired, so drained. My colleague had to drive me home a few days, or at least drive me to the park where I can get a bus to go home. Meanwhile, this was happening in Benin. I was in Benin. So now it went on like that, and in January I missed my period, so I went and took a test. Okay, I was feeling feverish one day like that. This was, I think I can remember the date of this one. This was around 18th January. I was feeling really feverish, and I couldn't explain it, what's going on. That fever is usually not a sign of menses for me. I have cramps, sometimes headache, sometimes dizziness, but never fever. So I was feeling feverish. Unlike me, I was just lying down everywhere in the office. I couldn't just focus. So my boss told me I should go home and I should get a test done. I should go and test for malaria. And because I had just wedded in October, she jokingly said I should take a pregnancy test as well. So I went to the hospital. Anyways, me too, I was hoping I was pregnant. So I'm a newly married woman, and my wedding was in October. So, and I had just come back from Christmas with my husband. We spent December together and some part of January. So, naturally I was excited. I was like, being pregnant will not be the worst thing ever. Anyways, so I went to the hospital close to my place. Then I took the test. I took the malaria test and the pregnancy tests. Well, 30 minutes later, they came out with the test, and pregnancy was negative. Now, it's not as if I was under any pressure to get pregnant or anything, but for some reason I was heartbroken. I felt sad. I was like, so now what's the problem? This one, my body is just changing like this, and the pregnancy that I wanted to blame, there's no pregnancy. So what is all this? Why does my shoe not fit? And I'm feeling feverish, and I'm throwing up. I can't keep a fast. And I was hoping to blame it all on pregnancy, and now they say you are not pregnant. Now this brings me to my number one point. When you have a feeling in your heart that you are pregnant, or something, whatever it is, trust your instinct sometimes and just give it a little bit of time. This is why I'm telling you this. In early pregnancy, you're not even supposed to take anti-malaria. So with my broken heart, I vexed and went to the pharmacy close by. Told them, there's malaria parasite in my blood. You should give me malaria medicine. Anyways, I now called my husband. I was like, babe, the pregnancy test was negative. I'm buying drugs. And I said, no, I shouldn't buy drugs. Like, Mr. Man, what's up? Say no, that I shouldn't buy drugs. Or if I must buy drugs, I should tell them I am pregnant, so that they will give me a malaria medicine that is suitable for pregnant women. Excuse me, sir. I just told you that they say pregnancy test is negative. Which one is they should give me medicine for pregnant woman? Let it not be that I'm the girl that did not have ear. I called my elder sister, who I was living with in Benin. I told her, sister, I've not been feeling fine. I just came to the hospital now, and they said it's not pregnancy, so I'm buying drugs. She too now joined my husband and said, no, I should not buy any malaria medicine. No, that sometimes pregnancy doesn't show up on test. I said, pregnancy doesn't show up on blood tests. What is it? As in, I don't understand. It's not urine, it's blood test, sister. She said I should not buy. Anyways, I was feeling feverish and I was disappointed, so I didn't care about them saying not to buy. I just heeded the instruction and told the pharmacy lady that I am pregnant, early pregnancy. She should give me the one that affects baby. So she gave me one medicine like that, Swifer something, not Artemether or lumefantrine, Swifer. So she gave me that, and I went home and I took that, and I didn't tell anybody I took the medicine. I just wanted to feel better, after the whole disappointment and all. So after about maybe 2-3 days, I was feeling better, but I was still unable to keep a fast, and I had still not seen my period. Mind you, my period was supposed to come by latest 10th of January. So I was surprised. We are almost at 26th of January, nothing. So I now started feeling some Pms symptoms. I started like crampiness of my stomach, a little bit of diarrhea, headache, just general tiredness, acne everywhere, like as in, which is unusual too, because I don't have breakouts. Not generally, I don't have breakouts, but I was not having acne. When one people manage to go, another one will come out. What kind of life is this? Like, what have I gotten myself into? So, I took some days off work and traveled back to Enugu where my husband is, and we went to the hospital together. This was, let's say, around 26th, between 26th and 31st of January. Went to the hospital. I explained my symptoms to them. They recommended tests. I took all the tests and all, but I didn't take pregnancy test, because when I went in for consultation with the doctor, I went in with the test I took in Benin and told him I have taken a pregnancy test, so, and it's negative, so this is not pregnancy. I don't know what is going on with my body. My menses comes like clockwork, so I'm a bit surprised that this is happening. Although towards September, October of 2020, September, October, and let me say November too, I had irregular periods, maybe just by a few days, but you know, I was under a lot of stress, wedding prepping and all that. I did a lot of my wedding planning myself, so I just chalked it up to stress. But now I don't know whether maybe something was going on. I didn't know. So I told the doctor all of these, and they recommended many tests. That will be a different video for another day. So this is just about the pregnancy journey. So after I had taken the test and all that, they gave me some drugs and everything, and you know, I went home. But I continued feeling certain feelings, as in my nipples were hurting, I was having cramps, and I was throwing up occasionally, like once a day. Like most of the time when I come back from work, it was almost like travel sickness, because like once I get down from the car, from the bus, my eyes just turning me, and by the time, before you know it, I'm looking for where to throw up. Anyways, that brings me to the 7th or 6th of February. Should be a Saturday, because it was a Saturday. I remember that clearly. On the Friday before, I had started my vision board for the year. You know, the things you want to achieve, whatever you make cutouts from magazines, or write them down, or however you want to do it, and paste it on the board, and you know, visualize it. So because of, you know, the earlier happenings and some of the tests I was asked to take at the hospital, because you know, they were telling me to take tests for fertility, which I had just finished doing before the wedding, so I don't understand. So you know, I was panicking normally. So suddenly pregnancy became a thing, like it was now part of my vision board. So on the Friday, I had gotten pregnancy test strips, the urine ones, to put on my vision board. The plan was to use red biro and mark the 2 red lines on it, so that, you know, 2 red lines signifies you're pregnant. So I would do that, and I would paste it on my vision board. I will give you people that gist later. Maybe I'll title that video how I found out I was pregnant. So in the morning, when I woke up Saturday morning, I wanted to start assembling my vision board. One spirit just told me, instead of drawing the 2 red lines with red biro, use the strip, so that the 1 red line will come out by itself. Then you will now know where to draw the second one. So, people of God, I opened this strip. Anyway, I'll tell you in the next video what I found out in the strip packet. So I used this strip, and 2 lines came out. Remember, this was 6th or 7th of February, and no, this is 7th of February, I'm sure, 7th of February, and I had taken a pregnancy test, blood test, on the 18th of January. That was negative. 7th, I now took a urine test that came out positive. I say maybe this urine testing is malfunctioning. I've heard of false positives before. I knocked on my sister's door and said, "Sister, come and see you." She said, "Yes, now it's positive. Congratulations." I said, "Congratulations for what? It's not you that I told that and the test did not work." Which one is congratulations? Maybe the thing is not correct. She said, why will I not have faith? This one, that one. My sister is a winner's chapel lady. Preaching entered the matter. I follow her and rejoice. I didn't want to hype my mind too much. I beg. My heart has been broken once. I don't want to allow. So I was a bit excited, a tiny bit excited. So I just packaged the strip back, put it in the nylon it came inside, and dropped it inside my room. Took my bath, had breakfast, carried water inside my water bottle. I went to the hospital near my house and went to do another blood test. And this time around, yay, it was positive. So now I actually knew for sure that I was pregnant. So I was so excited, I was happy, I was grateful to God, because I was beginning to worry. I'm like, God, I don't want to have issues. It's too early in my marriage for those to start having one problem with the other. Which one is this one again? So I was really grateful and I was really happy and I was really excited. And now I knew, everything made sense. The extra appetite, the throwing up, everything made sense. So by the time I came back to Enugu and told my husband and all that, that's another video too, how I told my husband I was pregnant. Anyway, by the time I came back and told him everything, we were excited. We went to the hospital and we did an ultrasound. Mind you, when I came back in January to see my husband, we did ultrasound and nothing was seen, like no baby was seen. So as in, when I came back and the hospital recommended I do a lot of tests, so we went and we did that would be our first scan, and lo and behold, by then I was 7 weeks 5 days or so, like I was almost 2 months pregnant. So I was really excited, and this was around, let's say 16th of February. So I was super happy and I was so excited. Everything made sense. Then that is when the pregnancy journey actually began, because that is when I knew what was going on in my body. So my first trimester, symptoms that I went through in my first trimester, I was throwing up. Like, when I mean throwing up, aggressively. Like, if I wake up in the morning, and then I used to be really, really hungry. Like, if I wake up in the morning and I stay till like 8 a.m. and I've not eaten, I have not put food inside my mouth. Oh God, I can't count how many Uber people I throw up in their car, because I would just be throwing up. Like, hunger made me throw up. Like, if I was hungry, I would be throwing up. So once I wake up in the morning, and I wasn't into unhealthy stuff. So like that like I didn't crave unhealthy stuff, let me put it like that. Like, my body didn't want to eat donut or whatever. I wanted to eat fruits. Like, I ate lots of garden egg in that first trimester. Garden egg was one of the things that I didn't throw up. So I used to have garden egg. Mango all the time. I used to crave mango like there was no tomorrow. Like, I would stop my cab driver just to buy mango. I would pay extra to my taxify so that I can branch the side of the market where I can buy mango. It was that bad. So I always had those fruits. Then I'll pack food, like maybe yam or rice or whatever we had at home, so that once I get to the office, like in the morning, once I brush my mouth and drink water, I'll eat garden egg or eat any fruit. And if there's no fruit, as I'm going to work, I'm going to buy fruits I'll eat. Because if I don't do that, by the time I get to my office, like 8:30, I will throw up because I'm already hungry. So I was feeling extreme hunger, then I was throwing up. Then in the evenings, I used to throw up like aggressively. Like when I eat, it won't go down. It will not digest for some reason. I'll be irritated until I throw it up. And this was not sexy throw up. I used to hold the toilet bowl and be vomiting aggressively. Like my husband used to think something, like I'm about to die or something. So it was, those were my like first trimester symptoms, like between 1 to 3 months. Those were the major things that I faced. Other things that worried me a lot is, I think the first trimester is the trickiest. This is why I say so. You wake up in the morning, there's no bump yet. You don't have any bump. You don't have any baby movement. In fact, it's only you that did test that knows you're pregnant. You are still looking normal. You are still looking yourself. Except maybe those that feel sleepy a lot. I wasn't feeling sleepy, although I was tired, but I didn't used to like sleep anywhere or something like that. But I was always tired, and I threw up a lot. So maybe that's the only thing you see that you use and know that maybe I'm pregnant, or you suspect I'm pregnant. But physically, I was still looking the same. I was still wearing all my clothes, and there was no change. So why I say it's tricky is, you wake up in the morning and you have no way of knowing you're still pregnant until one symptom starts doing you. And some days you will just be free. There will be no symptom, nothing. As in, till a certain time, you just be okay, be normal. You'll be like groovy. But in your mind, do not be afraid. This one that I'm not feeling anything. God, am I still pregnant? At least that's how I was feeling. So I'm telling you this because just relax your mind, trust God, trust the process. Like, just know it in your heart, be positive, know it in your heart of heart that nothing is happening, except you see you have aggressive bleeding or anything like that. Don't worry, you're still pregnant. Your baby is still there, your baby is still growing. You're still pregnant. It's just you cannot see any physical evidence for that yet, because there's, even at that stage, there's no baby movement, so you don't know anything. Your body is just normal. You may find yourself eating too much or not eating at all. Like, I had the weirdest aversions. Like, I hated the smell of Maggi. Like, I stopped cooking with Maggi, and if my sister was cooking with Maggi, I would actually leave the room or leave the house, as in go where I can't smell it. I hated it. That's another reason I couldn't eat buka food, because I couldn't stand it. The smell of Maggi annoyed the heck out of me. I didn't like ice cream. I didn't like pizza. Like, it was weird. Like all the things you say, when I'm pregnant, I'm going to eat them like this. I'm going to eat this one. I'll tell them I want this one. I'll tell them I want that one. Whoa. I didn't like any of those things. So I had an aversion to those. But I liked swallow. I liked eba. I liked rice and stew. And especially those this concoction rice. I loved concoction rice. It was something I could hold. Anything that had palm oil in it, was good to me. So you worry a lot whether you are still pregnant, whether everything is going well. Just have faith, put it in prayer, trust God that everything is going well and your body is doing what it's supposed to do, because apart from that, you don't have any other way of knowing if your baby is fine or not, except, excuse me, you can't do an ultrasound. I don't know, different hospitals have different advice. The hospital where I started my antenatal, the doctors there don't recommend ultrasounds like that, as in, they space it out. I think in the course of your pregnancy, if you start and finish with them, because of your pregnancy, you should have maybe highest 4 ultrasounds that are recommended by them, except you not carry your own sabi and go and do outside, which I did because I'm a first-time mom. So I was really worried at certain points. So after the ultrasound we did when I was 7 weeks, when I was around 12 weeks, I did another one because the doctors didn't recommend it, but I didn't know what was going on, and just for my own peace of mind, I went and I did the ultrasound. Some doctors say it's not really recommended to do a lot of ultrasounds. Others don't say anything about it. So I don't know. Just follow your instincts, pray that you are doing the right thing, and try to be as patient as possible. So by the time I was getting into my 4th month, that's as in sometimes that is when you get pregnant, you know that 9 months is a really long time, and moreover, that thing is a lie. Pregnancy is not 9 months. Pregnancy is 40 weeks. 40 weeks is 10 months. Let them be telling us the truth, please. 40 weeks is 10 months. So let us just, let's get that out of the way. So that's when you know that 9 months is a really long time. So because see how long I have used to talk about just my first trimester, and I have not even talked about it in detail. By the time I say approaching the 4th month, I was still throwing up. But in fact, maybe in the middle of my 3rd month, I was still throwing up, but the worst happened. You know what? Okay, it's not the worst. I know I scared you there, but it's not the worst. But to me, it was one of the things I had prayed that, won't happen to me, because, I just did not like it. I didn't want the stress of it. I didn't want the problems that came with it. Guys, I started spitting. Oh my goodness, you will not know how much saliva your body can produce until you start spitting in pregnancy. Like I was like, before I finished spitting, another one had formed. The only time I wasn't spitting was when I was eating. And don't tell me about gum. I tried gum. I tried sweet. I tried everything except bitter cola, because I can't stand bitter stuff. So I don't even know who used to recommend all those kind of songs. If I chew gum, once I finish chewing the sweet, like the sugar now, once I finish, when the gum is no longer sweet, the spitting will resume where it stopped. So gum did not help. Sweet didn't help. There is candy. Candy didn't help, because once I finish licking the candy, we are back to where we are, back to square one. So those things didn't help me. I don't know whether they help other people, but it didn't help me. So I just resorted to spitting on demand. Let me put it like that. When spit come, I spit it out. But I didn't carry cup. I think the thought of it irritated me to have a cup where I spit in, so I didn't carry cup. My husband suggested using towels, which was what helped me. So I had a couple of hand towels, like 3 or 4. I take one to work, and I take 2 to work. Earlier, I used to take 2 to work. So once one is already damp, I switch to the other one. By the time I get home, I wash those 2 and use the other 2 throughout the night. Then by morning, those other ones will be dry, I'll take them to work. So that's what I did for when I was spitting. But luckily for me, by my 6th month, spitting disappeared. I got, like, the way your body works, it's so wonderful. Let me tell you, it's so amazing. Because just one day I started spitting, just another random day spitting just ceased, but it ceased gradually. As in, I started noticing I wasn't spitting as much in the day, but I'll be spitting at night. Then before I knew it, I started forgetting to carry hanky to work, and spitting just vanished. But this was almost like in my sixth month of pregnancy. So I was spitting, I was throwing up till about month 5. Let me put it like that. So about 17 weeks. And by 17 weeks, my bump had started coming out. It was quite small, but at least it was there now. So I could, I was no longer worried that, am I pregnant or not? I had evidence. I could see that I was pregnant because, my tummy had started growing. And I hadn't started feeling baby movements, or if I was feeling it, I didn't know what they were because I'm a first-time mom. So by the time I went into the hospital I started antenatal around 12 weeks. Not because I couldn't start earlier. This is my first child, so I think you should start as early as you want. But 3 months is the recommended time, because even after I had gone to the hospital, after I found out I was pregnant in Benin and did that scan, the 7 weeks one, when I came back to Enugu, I had gone to the hospital where, the hospital where we go, in Enugu, me and my husband, and when we saw the doctor, we told him about the pregnancy test and everything, and the scan we had done, because we did that scan not on doctor's recommendation, we went on our own, but in the hospital we used. So they put the scan in my folder. So when I asked him when I should when I could register for antenatal, he just told me I should keep taking my folic acid and I should come and register for antenatal in 3 weeks. And if you count that, in 3 or 4 weeks, which was apparently 12 weeks. So when I clocked 12 weeks, I went and I registered for antenatal. So you should register for your antenatal at least 12 weeks. But once you find out you are pregnant, you should start taking folic acid. I think the dosage that was recommended for me was 1 tablet a day. So you should check with your doctor to know how much you should take. In fact, if you are a woman trying to conceive, generally, you should start taking folic acid even before you conceive, just to prepare your body for that first trimester. But you need to seek the advice of a doctor before doing this. I'm not a doctor. This is just my personal experience that I'm sharing with you. But you should seek the advice of a doctor before you do whatever I say in this video that is medically inclined. So you should take your folic acid daily. Don't miss it. Sometimes you forget, but I think for the first 6 months I did not forget. I used to drink the thing every day. I didn't forget. It's my first pregnancy, so I was being extremely careful. Anything they say I should take, I was taking it. I don't want story. I don't want them to say anything is my fault. So take your drugs and your prenatal vitamins, whatever I was taking, just folic acid and calcium. I think that's all I was taking for like the first 4 to 5 months. Then I started taking ferrobin at some point they changed it to Tothima, then they changed it to Remferon. So Remferon, presently I'm taking only Remferon and calcium. So whatever your doctor recommends. A lot of pregnant women that I have come across take something called pregnant care, but since it wasn't recommended to me by my doctor and I'm already on these other prenatal drugs, I didn't take it. But maybe for baby number 2 I'll consider it, but in this pregnancy I didn't take pregnant care. Anyway, so by the 6th month I had stopped spitting. I already had a bump and I started feeling baby movement. Oh, like that was the best feeling ever. Just to, from time to time, for your baby to kick, for your baby to move around, so that you just have this peace of mind. Oh, baby is fine. There were a couple of days when baby did not move. If I tell you how worried how worried I used to be on those days if baby doesn't move. But one thing you should also know is sometimes baby moves when you're sleeping and you don't know. So, but if you notice that baby did not move for, let's say, 2 days, it is better to go and check with your hospital than for you to just, relax and feel nothing is happening, because, you can't see into your womb. So you have to be careful, you have to be cautious. I've heard sad stories of, women that didn't feel their baby move and they didn't check it. By the time they went to hospital, baby was dead or something. But that is not, I'm not saying that if your baby did not move, your baby is dead. No. What I'm just saying is, be cautious about it. Once you start feeling those movements, you should feel them at least a few times a day. And if you don't feel it at all for a whole day, that is depending on how much liver you have, and you don't feel it at all for the next day, you have to just go and check, what's up. Prayer is the key. Let me just tell you, that is my number one secret throughout this pregnancy. I pray about everything. I'm like, God, please, I don't want any sadness. I want this to be a testimony true and true. So once I don't feel my mini baby movement or something, I just say a quick prayer after it, say a quick prayer for it. And if in 24 hours I don't feel it, I'm going to hospital. Let it be. Let them say this one is coming to hospital every 10 minutes. Let it be. So the second trimester was, pretty cool. I didn't have any stress. Occasionally my feet will swell if I sit too much, if I sit at the spot too much, because I'm a civil servant. I go to work, so sometimes I'm at my desk for hours straight. But once I walk around, I'll be fine. Also, like, for the most part of my pregnancy, I couldn't stand certain smells. So I didn't go to market a lot because, market smells and people smell. So kudos to my loving husband who went to the market for me throughout. In fact, like almost my 3rd trimester, my husband was going to the market for me. So I just want to use this time and appreciate him and say thank you. I appreciate that. So I couldn't stand smells. A lot of things smelled weird and awful, and your sense of smell will just increase. You understand? And certain things that didn't even bother you before will just be bothering you. But for the most part, my 2nd trimester was, beautiful. I had energy. I could do stuff. I even baked. Yes, I have not baked for a while, but I baked then. I baked. So I made chin. I was doing stuff. I was doing normal day-to-day things I could do or I wanted to do and all that. So for the most part, it was fine, and I had a lot of support. Like my office didn't engage me in a lot of work. They didn't want me to do anything that was strenuous. I just did, light office stuff. went to work every day and came back, and that was basically it. But by the time I say approaching my third trimester, nothing much really changed except for the fact that now you are now more pregnant. Then in my second trimester, my linea nigra appeared. Let me tell you what is linea nigra. It's that black line that comes out on the tummy. Some women don't have it, but I think I would have felt a bit sad if I didn't have it, because from the day I found out I was pregnant, every morning I used to check whether I have linea nigra. I know I'm weird. From that time, every day I used to check. Have my stomach still becoming black? My stomach is becoming black. Is the black light coming out? So in my second trimester, my linea nigra finally started appearing, and it will appear. It's usually from like your pubic area to the middle of to above your navel. It's just a black line. Apparently it has always been there, and because your tummy is stretching, that is why it is becoming more visible. And which other physical changes they have? My breasts became a little bit bigger. My areolas are dark. That is the area around my nipple. It became very dark. My navel is really dark as well. Then what else? Of course, I added weight. Currently, I'm 40 weeks pregnant. Yippee! Like, I can deliver today. I can deliver tomorrow. I can deliver anytime now. So, I'm so glad. Like, I almost did not do this video because, I'm like, I could have delivered yesterday. But since I have not delivered and I have the time, I said let me quickly film this video just in case. So what was I saying? Okay, other physical change. I added weight at the beginning of this pregnancy. Like in my first trimester, I actually lost weight, because on a normal day my weight is around 59 to 60 kg. You understand? That was my normal weight. But by month 3, I think I was weighing 57 kg. So because of all the vomiting and all the stress of the first trimester, I actually lost weight in my first trimester. But currently I'm weighing 75 kg. So if we are talking from my regular weight to my current weight, I gained about 15 kg. Hopefully God will be merciful to us and we'll be able to drop it as fast as possible. Another thing that happened to me was I have a lot of, I call them rashes, acne or whatever, that were just coming out everywhere in my body, my chest, my back, my face sometimes. And my mother actually told me I shouldn't bother myself about it. There are pregnancy patches that even if I apply any cream or whatever, it won't go away until I deliver. So that's another thing that can happen to you. You can just start suffering from hyperpigmentation, that you get really dark, or you just start seeing weird skin patches all over your body. Apparently, a lot of weird things are normal in pregnancy. So that's another thing that can happen to you. Don't stress much about it, except something is, causing you physical harm, like maybe it's paining you, itching you, or bleeding or something. Don't stress much about it. It's just all part of pregnancy, and hopefully when your baby comes, they will all disappear and everything will go back to normal. Also, my nose is now like the nose for 3 people, so that's changed as well. Then another symptom that I am feeling right now is the need to pee. Like, I used to pee like 100 times a day. All I do is pee. All I do is pee. And I drink a lot of water, which is good for you. It's really good you take a lot of water when you are pregnant. It's good for your baby. It will help with the change of your amniotic fluid. Your body is producing more blood, so you need more water, and water takes oxygen to your baby. In fact, in general, in life, you should take a lot of water. So why not when you are pregnant? So I drank a lot of water. But also during this pregnancy, I couldn't take tepid water. Initially, like in my first trimester, I was taking warm water actually, but maybe around month 5 or so, I just could not take tepid water, that is room temperature. Any water that is hot was just annoying to me. I like cold water, frozen water. That's what I was taking, because I even had to ask my doctor if it is safe for me to drink cold water, because that was what I wanted, and the doctor said fine, go ahead and drink cold water. Also, another thing that is important in pregnancy is the way you sleep. It is recommended that you sleep on your left side, but sometimes you want to. Throughout my first trimester, till my bump began to show, I think for the most part of the night I was still sleeping on my tummy. Although I tried practicing sleeping on my side, but it didn't work as much. So basically, you should try to sleep on your left side. It's better for your baby. It's better for blood supply to your baby. But from time to time, if you find yourself sleeping on your back, don't worry about it too much. I asked my doctor if it was okay, because sometimes the back pain, oh God, throughout this pregnancy, the body ache has not been here. Like, my back is always paining me, my waist and stuff. So I asked my doctor at some point if it's okay for me to lie on my back for some time, because I read online and they made it seem like a taboo, as if you lie on your back, all your blood vessels will just constrict and there will be no blood supply to your baby. But the doctor said whatever is comfortable for mommy is comfortable for baby. So I slept on my tummy for a while, although I tried to start sleeping on my left side early. But once you have a bump, you'll not be able to sleep on your tummy. So naturally you want to sleep on your sides. Just take note of it and try to sleep on your left side as much as you can. Also, what else is there? I told you I would try to remember as much as I can, but just enjoy your pregnancy. Start preparing for your baby as early as you can. If you are interested in knowing the gender of your baby, a good time to check will be around month 5 or 6. And even if you don't see your baby, the gender, then just wait until you're around 30 to 34 weeks. By then, if you are lucky, your baby is already face down, it's already head down or whatever. It's already in a position where they can see better what gender your baby is. Then it's good to start preparing early, know the help you are going to get and all that. Just do your best to prepare for your baby as much as you can before baby arrives. Also, what else? Okay, before baby arrives, also just be prayerful. Take prayer very seriously. Pray for your baby while your baby is in the womb. Pray that everything goes well. Pray for your delivery, and just take things one day at a time. If you have any questions that you want to ask me about a specific time or a specific thing that is happening to you, you can drop it in the comment section. I will answer to the best of my ability, or I'll tell you what I know about it and advise you accordingly. You can also reading is really good. It's good to know what's going on in your body, but I don't advise you to take medical advice from online. just read to have knowledge, then you go to your doctor and get certified information that you can actually use. So that has been my journey so far, my first, my second, and my third trimester. And right now I'm just looking forward to having my baby in my hands, my baby boy or my baby girl, because I'm waiting to see. I got gender neutral stuff, but because this is my first child, whatever God gives me, I'm really happy about it. All I prayed for during this pregnancy was just to have a healthy, happy baby. And God has been faithful so far. So I trust that His will will be done, and delivery will be smooth and positive. And trust me, I'll come back to you with the gist. So a lot of changes happen in your body, so just be ready for them, expect them. You are going to pee a lot, you drink water a lot, you may end up wanting to eat more food, you may end up wanting not to eat more food, you may have energy, you may not have energy. Just take it as it comes. It's a happy thing, it's a joyful thing. Don't be sad about anything. Don't say, my sister was a jack of all trades when she was pregnant. Now so it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, what we all want is a healthy mother and a healthy child. So I didn't exercise throughout this pregnancy. I've never been an exercise freak, but I walk a lot. I walk upstairs, downstairs. I walk to my bus stop. I walk to the market sometimes. I walk. I try to walk as much as I can. So that is the only exercise I can say I have done. And then I dance. I like dancing, so I put on music in my house and just dance. So that's the exercise I have done. I wasn't an exercise person before pregnancy, so it was more difficult to come and incorporate exercise upon all the changes that are happening in my body for the first time. So I didn't particularly do any exercise. But if you're an exercise person, just find out what is safe during pregnancy, and you are good to go. Then, of course, you are not supposed to take alcohol during pregnancy. I didn't used to take alcohol before, but more especially now, you are not supposed to take alcohol during pregnancy. Avoid alcohol by all means. They say it's okay to take coffee, but I don't used to take coffee before, so I didn't take coffee either. Just take your health really seriously, because whatever you do, so just try to stay as healthy as possible. Just try to eat healthy, stay healthy. Before your third trimester, you should really try to avoid whatever will strain you, that will lead to maybe preterm labor or anything like that. Purging is good to avoid, because I purged a couple of times between my first trimester and my second trimester, as in first to month 1 to month around 7. I purged maybe 2 times or 3 times, and my doctors were really don't eat anything that will make you purge. In my first trimester, like I told you, I didn't like eating a lot of things irritated me, so I really liked agidi. So they were like, maybe it's the agidi jollof I ate that made me purge, I shouldn't eat it again. That's how they scatter my agidi market. I stopped eating agidi. But just try to stay as healthy as possible. So any questions you have, this video is getting so long, so I think I want to stop it here. Any questions you have, just ask in the comment section below, and I'll be glad to answer. But it's all a beautiful journey. It's something you will remember for good by the very grace of God. And so enjoy it, enjoy every step, enjoy every change. Try to worry less, try to just be patient with your body. Everything will happen. Your bump will come out. In fact, when your bump come out, now you go tire, because you now have clues. You need to update your wardrobe, because your clothes don't fit no more. So yeah, just try to enjoy the process. It's a very enjoyable process. Be prayerful throughout the entire thing, and hopefully it will all end in praise. So let me show you my bump before I end this video. This is what it look like at. So this is also at 40 weeks. To this other side. So if you check my Instagram, you see how tiny I was before this pregnancy. My waist has increased by 10 inches total. So like I used to be I think 28 around the waist, but now it's 38. So yeah, so this is it. That's my bump. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I'll see you in the next one where I talk about. So I'll see you in the next video where I'll talk about something else, maybe. You know, how I found out I was pregnant and how I told my husband, and hopefully my delivery story. So hang in there until I see you next time. Bye.